in Dwapara Yugam, now in the Kali Yugam, Srinivasa. Right from today morning, we are all doing the Srinivasa Seva, that we call Tirumala Srinivasa Seva. Right from Chicago time, early morning 7 o'clock, we started Suprabhata Seva, Govinda Namas, and then devotional songs. Then we did the 1000 mantras of Sri Venkadeswara. Venkadeswara Sahasranamavali, Ashtoti Satanamavali, all those things. And then finally we finish with the Tirupavai Seva. Now we want to start as a part of our Sri Ramayana Prasangam. Daily we are doing the Sri Ramayana Prasangam during this Chaitra Masam. The Chaitra Masam is a blessed month for all of us because Ramachandra born only for us, I say. Why? Because he knew that we are all Manavas. So he took the form of the human being and he behaved like a real human being, a perfect human being. As an example, in that way, we are all doing this one, Ramayana Rasa Pravaham, we say. Pibare Ramayana Rasam. Pibare Rama Rasam, we say Pibare Ramayana Rasam. See, this Ramayana Rasa Pravaham, we are all now understanding. And today being Saturday, our focus is on the 7 hills Lord. That is Srinivasa. The Saptagiri Srinivasa. Saptagiri. So, before starting, let us all praise him. Let us all applaud him. He is on the 7 hills. And then we understand, today we are going to learn something about the relation between the 7 hills, that is Edu Kondalu, and Edu Kandalu, that the 7 cantos of Sri Ramayanam. The 7 hills and 7 sargas, you can say, the cantos of Sri Ramayanam. What is this 7? That we discuss those things in detail as it is given by SriVaishnava Appalacharlu Mahanubhavulu. So before that, we are doing the Srinivasa Gadyam. Why the Srinivasa Gadyam to do? Saturday being the day to remember Srinivasa, and Saturday evening, it is the one, yeah. So let us now, in the Srinivasa Gadyam, the total Tirumala is actually just in front of us. With our Mano Netram, this Gadyam takes us to the 7 hills Lord in front of in his presence. Let us now all enjoy that, the Srinivasa Gadyam. I just want to recite in the way it is given. Om Asmadgurubhyo Namaha Sri Venkatadi Nilaya Kamala Kamuka Puman Abhangura Vibhuti Nastarangayatu Mangalam. Om Namo Venkatesaya. Om Namo Venkatesaya. Srinivasa Gadyam. Srimadakila Mahi Mandala Mandana Dharanidhara Mandala Khandalasya Nikhila Surasara Vandita Varaha Kshetra Vibhushanasya Seshachala Garuda Chala Vrishabha Chala Narayana Chala Anjana Chala Disikhari Mala Kulasya Nathamukha Bodha Nidhi Vidhi Guna Sabharana Sattva Nidhi Tattva Nidhi Bhakti Guna Purna Sri Saila Purna Guna Vasembada Parama Purusha Krupa Pura Vibhrama Tunga Strunga Ganga Galad Gaganga Gagana Ganga Samalingitasya Srimatika Guna Ramanuja Muni Ramankita Bahubhuma Sriya Suradhamalaya Vana Ramayata Vana Sima Parivrita Visenkata Tada Nirantara Vijrumbhita Bhakti Rasa Nirjara Nantaryarya Prasravana Dhara Pura Vibhramada Salila Bhara Bharita Mahatata Kamanditasya కలికర్దమమలమర్దన తల్కలితోద్యమ విలసద్యమ నియమాదిమునగుణ నిషేవ్యమాన ప్రత్యక్షీభవన్నిజ సలిల నమజ్జన సమజ్జన నిఖిల పాపనాశన తీర్థాధ్యాసితస్య మురారి సేవక జనాధిపీడిత నిరార్తి జీవన నిరాశ భూషర వరాతి సుందర సురంగనారతి కరంగ సౌష్ఠవ కుమారతాకృతి కుమార తారక సమాపనోదయద మానపాతక మహావదామయ వివాహను నిర్వివాహ విహాపనోదిత సకల భువన విదిత మా కుమారధారాభిధాన తీర్థాధిష్ఠితస్య ధరణితలగత సకలహత కలిల శుభ సలిలగత బహుళ విధి వివిధ స్మలహతి చతుర రుచిరతర లోకమాత్ర విదళిత వివిధ మహాపాదక స్వామి పుష్కరిణీ సమేతస్య బహుసంకట నరకావటపత దుత్కట కలికంకట కలుషోద్భట జనపాతక వినిపాతక రుచినాటక కరహాటక కలశాహృత కమలారత శుభమజ్జన జలసజ్జన భరిత నిజ దురిత హతి నిరత జన సతత నిరర్గిళ పీపీయమాన సలిల సంభృత విశంకట కటాహతీత విభూషితస్య ఏవమాదిమ భూరి మంజిమ సర్వపాతక గర్వహాపక సింధుడంబర హారిశంబర వివిధ విపుల పుణ్యతీర్థ నివాసస్య శ్రీమతో వెంకటాచలస్య శిఖరమే శేఖర మహాకల్పశాఖీ ఖర్వీ భవదతి గర్వీకృత గురుమేర్వీ సగిరిర్ముఖోర్వీధరకుల దర్వీకరదైతోర్వీ జరసికతోర్వీ తతత దుర్వీకృత చడనవఘన గర్వచర్వణ నిపుణ తను కిరణమాశ్రుది అస్మృత గిరిశిఖర శేఖర తరుణికర తిమిరః వాణీపతి సర్వాణి దైతేంద్రాణి స్వరముఖరాణి యో రసవేణి నిభసుభమాణి నూతమహిమాణి యస్తర కోటి భవదఖిల భువన భవనోదరః వైమానిక గురు భూమాదిక గుణరామానుజ కృతధామాకరధామారిజర లలామాచన కనకదామాయిత నిజ రామాలయన వకిసలయమయ తోరణమాలాయిత వనధామాలాధరః కాళంబుదమాల నిభనీలాలక జాలావృత బాలద్యలీలామలపాలాంక సమూలామృతధారాద్వయావధీరణ ధీర లలితధర విశదతర ఘన ఘన సారమయ ఊర్ధ్వపుండ్రరేఖాద్వయ చిచురుచిరః సుఖ విస్వరదళ భస్వర కమలోదర గతమేసుర నవకేసుర తతిభాసుర పరిపింజర కలితంబర కలితాదర లలితోదర తదాలంబజంబ రిపుమణి స్తంభ గంభీర్యవదంబ ಸ್ತಂಭನ ಸಮುಜ್ಜೃಂಭಮಾನ ಪಿವರೂರುಯುಗಳ ತದಾಲಂಬ ಮೃದುಲ ಮದಹರಣ ಜಂಘಾಲ ಜಂಘಾಯುಗಳ ನವ್ಯದಳ ಭವ್ಯಕಲ ಪೀತಮಲ ಸೋಣಿಮಲ ಸನ್ಮೃದಲ ಸತ್ಕಿಸಲಯ ಸೃಜಲಕಾರಿ ಜಲ ಸೋಣತಲ ಸತ್ಕಮಲ ಜಾಶ್ರಯ ಜಲಬಂಧಿ ಬಲಬಂಧೀಕೃತ ಸುಮಂಡಲಿ ವಿಭ್ರಮದ ಭವ್ಯ ಶುಭ್ರ ಪುನರ್ಭವಾಧಿಷ್ಠಿತ ಅಂಗುಳಿ ಗಾಢರಿ ಪೀಡಿತ ಪದ್ಮಾಸನ ಜನುತಲಾವಧಿಲಂಬಿ ನಿರಂಬಿತ ವಾರಣ ಸುಂಡಾದಂಡ ವಿಜೃಂಭಿತ ನೀಲಮಣಿಮಯ ಕಲ್ಪಕ ಶಾಖ ವಿಭ್ರಮದಾಯಿ ಮೃಣಾಲಲತಾಯಿತ ಸಮುಜ್ವಲಧರ ಕನಕ ವಲಯ ವೇಲಿತೈಕಧರ ಬಾಹುದಂಡಯುಗಳ ಯುಗಪದುಡಿತ ಸ್ಕೋಠಿ ಕರಗರ ಹಿಮಕರಂಡಲ ಜಜ್ವಲ್ಯಮಾನ ಸುದರ್ಶನ ಪಾಂಚಜನ್ಯ ಸಮುತ್ತುಂಗಿತ ಶೃಂಗಾಪರ ಬಾಹುಯುಗಳ ಅಭಿನವಸಣ ಸಮುತ್ತೇಜಿತ ಮಹಾಮಹಾನೀಲಖಂಡಮಣ ಕಣ್ಮ ಮದಮಳ ಖಂಡನ ನಿಪುಣ ನವೀನ ಪರಿತತ್ತಕಾರ್ಥ ಸ್ವರ ಕವಚಿತ ಮಹಾಗ್ರಾಮ ಪರಂಪರಾ ಗುಂಪಿದ ನಾಭಿಮಂಡಲ ಪರ್ಯಂತ ಲಂಬಮಾನ ಪ್ರಾಲಂಬ ದೀಪ್ತಿ ಸಮಾಲಂಬಿತ ವಿಶಾಲ ವಕ್ಷಸ್ಥಲ ಗಂಗಾ ಝರ ತುಂಗ ಕೃತಿ ಭಂಗ ವಳಿ ಭಂಗ ವಹ ಸೌದಾವಳಿ ಬಾಧಾವಹ ನಿಬಹಾರಾವಳಿ ದೂರ ಹತಗೆ ಹಾಂತರ ಮೋಹನ ಮಹಿಮ 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 ಅಸೃಣಿತ ಮಹಾತಿಮಿರ పింగాకృతి భృంగారుని భంగారదళంగాదుమల నిష్కాసిత దుష్కార్యమ నిష్కావళి దీప ప్రభనీపచ్చవితాప కనకమాలికాపి సంగీత సర్వాంగ నవదళిత దళవలిత మృదులలిత కమలతతి మద విహిత చతురతర మృదులతర సరసతర కనక సరమయ రుచిర కంఠికా కమనీయ కంఠ వాతాసనాధిపతి శయన కమన పరిచరణ రతి సమేతాఖిల పణిధరతతి మతికర కనకమయ నాగాభరణ పరివీతాభిలాంగావగమిత శయనభూతాహిరాజాతాతిశయ రవికోటి పరిపాటి ధరకోటి రవరాటి కితవాటి రసధాటి ధరమణి మణిగణ కిరణ విసరణ సతత విదుత తిమిర మోహ గర్భగే అపరిమిత వివిధ భువన భరత భరిత అఖండ బ్రహ్మాండ మండల పిచండిల ఆర్యధుర్యానంతార్య పవిత్ర ఘనిత్ర పాత పాత్రీకృత నిజ జుబుకగత వ్రణకిణ విభూషణ వహన సూజిత ఆశ్రిత జనవత్సల అతిశయ మడ్డుడిండ మడమరు జంజర కాళీపటవళీ మృదుమర్దలాలి మృదంగదుందుబిదక్షికా ముఖ హృద్యవాద్యక మధుర మంగళనాథ మేధుర విశ్రమర సరసగాన రసరుచిర సంతత సంతవ్యమాన నిత్యోత్సవ పక్షోత్సవ మాసోత్సవ సంవత్సరోత్సవాది వివిధోత్సవకృతానంద శ్రీమదానందనిలయ విమానవాస సతత పద్మాలయ పద పద్మరేణు సంచిత వక్షస్థల పటవాస శ్రీనివాస సుప్రసన్నో విజయతాం శ్రీనివాస సుప్రసన్నో విజయతాం. ఓం నమో వెంకటేశాయ. శ్రీ గోవింద హరి గోవింద వృషభాద్రి నిలయ గోవింద గోవింద వృషాద్రి నిలయ గోవింద గోవింద గరుడాద్రి నిలయ గోవింద గోవింద అంజనాద్రి నిలయ గోవింద గోవింద శేషాద్రి నిలయ గోవింద గోవింద వెంకటాద్రి నిలయ గోవింద గోవింద నారాయణాద్రి నిలయ గోవింద నారాయణాద్రి నిలయ గోవింద గోవింద సప్తగిరి నివాస గోవింద గోవింద. జయ హో జయ హో జయ హో జయ హో శ్రీనివాసో విజయతే. శ్రీ శ్రీనివాస పరబ్రహ్మణే నమః. ఆపదామపహర్తారం దాతారం సర్వసంపదాం లోకాభిరామం శ్రీరామం భూయో భూయో నమామ్యహం. శ్రీరఘునందన పరబ్రహ్మణే నమః. శ్రీ శ్రీనివాస పరబ్రహ్మణే నమః. ఊర్ధ్వౌ హస్తౌ యదీయౌ సురరిపుదళనే బిభ్రతౌ శంఖచక్రే సేవ్యౌ అంఘ్రీ స్వకీయౌ అభిధరధరో దక్షిణో యస్య పాణిః తావన్మాత్రం భవాబ్దిం గమయతి భజతాం ఉరుగో వామపాణిః. శ్రీవత్సాంకస్య లక్ష్మీ యదురసి లసతః శ్రీవత్సాంకస్య లక్ష్మీ యదురసి లసతః తం భజే వెంకటేశం తం భజే వెంకటేశం. ఓం నమో వెంకటేశాయ. Venkateshaya. Jai Ho Ramanuja, Jai Jai Ramanuja. శ్రీనివాస రామానుజ అంతర్జాతీయ ప్రవచన గోష్ఠి ఈ ప్రత్యేకమైన శ్రీనివాస రామానుజ అంతర్జాతీయ ప్రవచన గోష్ఠి is coming before you to give all the 7 hills. These are the names are given just now. All the names like Vrishabhadri, Nilaya Govinda, Vrushadhi Nilaya Govinda, Garudadhi Nilaya Govinda, Anjanadhi Nilaya Govinda, Seshadhi Nilaya Govinda, Venkatadhi Nilaya Govinda, and Narayanadhi Nilaya Govinda. These 7 hills has a lot of importance for all of us, for a devotee. Most of you in our Goshti also have visited Tirupati, no doubt, and many of them we can say climbed the hills by foot. These climbing the hills, when you climb all these 7 hills, you have already crossed. The significance of that, climbing the hills, now you know. You are such a perfect job you did, but you should know what you have done, isn't it? So many of them climbed the hills, but many of them did not know the power of that hills and power of the importance of the significance of those names. Today we are discussing the significance of the climbing, and especially now before we start with the figure 7. Because 7 hills, Saptagiri Nivasa Govinda Go. The figure 7 has gained prominent significance as a force of common challenge to all devotees, or we can say spiritual aspirants. In all this thing, it is evidently to make this factor explicit that Lord Venkateshwara, that is the Lord of 7 hills, that is Balaji, Srinivasa Perumal, has chosen to have his abode situated on these 7 hills. I can say beyond these 7 hills, other way, but beyond these 7 hills on the north. It looks as though the Lord exhorts the devotees that pilgrimage to his shrine, that is the Murti, Srinivasa Venkateswara Murti, is enough. It makes them aware of the essence of all the spiritual contents of the Shruti, Smruti, Purana, and Itihasa, and Tantras, and Agama Shastras. So, that is enough. Those who have climbed the 7 hills and reached the Sriman Narayana Swarupa Sri Venkateshwara, that is enough in one's life. That's what it tells. These 7 now we discussed. Most of you know there is one a very interesting thing is the Purusha Suktam. The Purusha Suktam in the Veda Suktam declares Pado Astya Vishwa Bhutani Tripadasya Divi. This particular mantra, most of you heard from usually in Vaishnava, SriVaishnava temples, during the Tirumanjanam, they always recite this Purusha Suktam, the Pancha Suktas. First they start with Purusha Suktam. Here there are 7 enclosures. The Prakriti, the visible Prakriti, what we call the material world, it covered with 7 enclosures. That Sapta Avaranas we call. That what the Purusha Sukta declares, that one. And Ekapat is the realm of this particular use. Pado Astya Vishwa Bhutani. This is the 1/4 of the entire is this universe, that is Vishwam. There are Akhila Anda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka, we always praise him. There are crores of such universes in existence beyond our imagination. There are 7 enclosures in an ascending order. 7 enclosures in an ascending order. That is Bhumyapo Tejas Vayur Akashat. That means Bhumi, Apaha, Tejas, Vayuhu, Akasham. And then another 2, these are all 5. We all know that. the 5 elements, those are all Prithivyapastejo Vayurakasat Vised, Bhumi Akpo Tejas. Here, the 6th one is Ahamkaram. The 7th one is Buddhi. That is egoism and then intellect. These form as the 7. It's only after crossing these 7 bearing enclosures, 7 bearing enclosures of intense darkness, the devotee reaches the land brimming with threefold affluence. Tripada, that was he said, Tripadasya Amrutam Divi. Tripadasya Amrutam, the Tripad Vibhuti. Tripada Vibhuti we call. That is the blessed abode, abounding in eternal peace and ineffable bliss. That is the one has to the Mukta Jiva always reach that particular place. How to become a Mukta Jiva? We are all Baddha Jivas. So how to become a Mukta Jiva? That they just only visit Tirumala. That's enough. You become a Mukta Jiva. Is it so? Yes. But with the knowledge of knowing. If you know and do, and when you do, you should know what you are doing. Then enough. That's it. But we do, but we don't know. And sometimes we know, but we don't do. These are the things. So the combination of jnanam and acharana makes you a perfect person. Knowledge and its practice. You know, you have knowledge, but you never practice it. But sometimes you practice many things, but you don't know why you are practicing those things. That knowledge you don't have. So when you combine these two together, you become a perfect person like Ramachandra. That is what Rama tells in the Ramayana. That's why the Ramayana, Rama's number is 7. What is that 7? 7th avataram, incarnation. In the 10 incarnations, Rama is in the 7th incarnation. And the star we always say in the Ashwani, Bharani, Kritika, Rohini, Mrugasira, Arudra. These are the stars, no? And 7th is the one Punarvasu. The 7th star is the one Punarvasu star. And he has chosen, the Lord Sriman Narayana has chosen to come to this 7th avataram and with 7th star. And also the 7 is the one, the Lord Srinivasa in the Kali Yugam also he has chosen to reside on the 7 hills Lord. Even Ranganatha. 7 boundaries of the prakara, sapta prakara madhye. So what this 7 is the one. And those who, most of you, heard about how it is connected with our body, with our human, we are all human beings. Every human being has the body which has 7, we always call that one, the Antaryami Upasaka, those who do Antaryami Upasaka, like Tantra Shastra, they also have to overcome the 7 obstacles. From that we start from the Mooladhara, then Swadhisthana, then Manipura, then Anahata, then Visuddha, and Agnya, and Sahasrara. These we call them as the energy points, which are in the spinal cord. It starts from the spinal cords, we call that one. Those who chant Gayatri Mantra have to cross over 7 Vyahrutis. So we are all, a Jiva has to do this 7. When you climb, when you want to reach Lord Venkateshwara, the Saptagiri Nivasa, Srinivasa, you have to climb 7 hills. That means you have to cross those 7 hills, then only you can see him, isn't it? So here also, those who know Gayatri Mantra, those who chant Gayatri Mantra, they have to cross over 7 Vyahrutis. Bhuh, Bhuvaha, Suvaha, Mahaha, Janaha, Tapaha, Satyam. To reach the destination of Paramapada, the land of the blessed. So those who attempted to proceed on the lines indicated in the Purusha Suktam have to scale these 7 Prakriti Mandalas of darkness. They have to cross, then reach the land of light and bliss. That lies beyond them. These are all the one which These are all actually SriVaishnava Appalacharya Swami, when he visited Tirupati, the fortunate people, say God wanted to bless some of them, like the blessed people. He really got this thought. Immediately he could connect because he was the Ramayana Rahasyajnam Ramya Vakya Visaradam Ananta Guna Sanghatam Appalarya Maham Bhaje. Because when I do Perumal, the Tirupavai during the Dhandurmasam, I always follow word to word almost to Appalacharya's Tattvadipika, Vachanams and all the things. Even in Ramayana, we always wanted to do the Tattvadipika of Sri Ramayanam. And this particular one is also a outpouring of SriVaishnava Appalacharya Varu when he visited Tirupati. And here we want to understand that those who visit Tirupati, that they, what they say, they are men, got the essence of Vedas. Shruti means Vedam, Smruti, Purana, Itihasa and Tantra, Agama, Shastras, everything in nutshell. They get the essence of everything and they reach that ultimate. That is the Tirumala. Tirupati is like Paramapadam. A Mukta Jiva, to want to reach that Paramapadam, those who have the devotees, when you climb these. Now coming to the hills. These hills are ascribed certain peculiar names. These names actually, but they appear to carry some special significance. That significance today we are going to discuss. The Vrishabhadri. The first one is Vrishabhadri. Then the second one looks similar. Vrishabhadri, then Vrishadri. Vrisha is common. That is Vrishabha and Vrisha. Adri is a word for the mountain. Adri is mountain. Vrishabha, mountain, and Vrisha, mountain. Garudadri, Garuda, mountain, and Anjanadri, Anjana, mountain, and Seshadri, Sesha, mountain, and Venkatadri, Venkata, the mountain name is Venkata. Then final, we are reaching Narayana, the Narayana mountain. The Lord himself is in the mountain. What the Vedas say is Nihitam Guhayam. He was in the mountain only. He himself, he always available in the mountain. That's why this Lord Srinivasa has chosen to be on the top of the mountain with them. So these are having the very, we call that as esoteric spiritual values, all these. The first hill we call, but mountain I call. But mountain is a little bit, bigger name. But 7 hills they call. We never say 7 mountains. But in Telugu we have to say Parvatam. But hill is a different we have. So, we call 7 hills Lord for all of you because you all very familiar with the word 7 hills Lord Srinivasa. So the Vrishabhadri, come to the everything has, because it goes back to the Vedic meaning. So, but I try to simplify and also try to make it because we have to maintain the time and also we have to respect the time. And the knowledge is Ananta Vidya Bahuveditavyam Alpastya Kalaha Bahavastya Vignaha Yatsarabhutam Tadupasitavyam Hamso Yatha Kshiramiva Amburasi. Because the duration of our lives on earth is extremely limited, and especially nowadays in this coronavirus, everyone is out of fear of these things. Now let us we have to understand the purpose of our life and the essence of our presence on this earth. We have to. And also the innumerable or the challenges we have to face in our course of life. So, and in between we have also bhavastya vignaha. Many more obstacles also come on our to study anything, to learn anything, to listen anything. There are many more. So, and what we have to learn is that Ananta Vidya, endless. This Ananta vai Veda, they say. So, and also Aparam. The spiritual wisdom is Aparam and Anantam. But we always say, At Sarabhutam Tadupasitavyam, we say. In this context, I remember sage Bharadwaja. Bharadwaja carried a rigorous, arduous penance, the tapas, and the tapas was successful. And Brahmadeva, the creator, appeared before him, and he was very much pleased because he was enlightening many of his disciples, Bharadwaja, and he himself learning every time he is learning. Actually, teaching is learning only. We always teach to students, we learn more. So he was teaching to students and learning, and in the course of time, 100 years gone. Then Brahmadeva was pleased and gave another 100 years, he blessed him, another 100 years. Then he was very happy and healthy and vigorous, doing everything and giving the knowledge to all those who are in that. And then 200 years gone. Then Brahmadeva again appeared. Wow, you are really doing a successful life, knowing the knowledge, and that you are giving to everyone. Knowledge all the time always to share. Share your knowledge always. That was Bharadwaja was doing. Brahmadeva gave one more. That is 300 years Bharadwaja lived on this earth. I am so fortunate to say that I belong to that lineage of Bharadwaja Rishi. Because we always say Bharadwaja Sagotraha, we always say. So Bharadwaja Rishi, Angirasa, Barhaspatyeya, Bharadwaja, the Rishi, Trisheya Pravaranvita. We say when we say this one. So Bharadwaja, when you remember this one, Ananta Vidya, even though whatever you learn, everything, so we have to go do everything in a nutshell. The essence of the one, we have to know. These are the 7 hills, the names. Now come to the 7 hills, the Vrishabhadri. Vrishabha is a word. Normal meaning is, if you know, those who know Sanskrit, no, need not to know also. Those who worship Shiva, what is the Vahanam of Shiva is Vrishabham. That is what we call bull, isn't it? But here, what is the Vrishabham here stands for? Normal meaning of the thing, bull. Why this mountain or hill got the name as bull? Why? It looks in the sturdy bull in shape. Is it so? If that is the only reason for giving the name, no. It has really, the Rig Veda uses this word Vrishabha, giving in a meaning, esoteric significance. These are very in Chatvari Srungaha, Trayasya Padaha, Dve Sirshe, Saptahasto Va, Astya Tridha Baddho, Vrishabho Raviti, Mahadevo Matyagum Avivesha. That's the one. This is actually the beautiful, this particular sloka, we in detail, one day I promise, I will definitely explain to all of you this Vedic diction word. But here now we have to understand that this Rishabha is the word in this particular, interesting to say the word Rishabha is the word knowledge. Here, because Jnanamitye, see, Mokshamitye Janardana, we know. We always say that who Aditya Arogyam Bhaskaradichet, where you want good health, you have to look at the sun. He is the one. Those who are, and actually we also know that the places where the sun won't, and the sun rays won't fall, we always see that fungus starts in that place. So the same thing, the Arogyam Bhaskaradichet, Jnanamichet Maheswaraha. That is the Vrishabha is also another meaning is the knowledge. And Dhanamichet Hutasana, the fire, Agni, that is the Mahalakshmi's Rupam. Dhanamichet Hutashana, Mokshamichet Janardanaha. Moksham is the one, that is the salvation is only by Janardana. These are the words we know. So here we have Para, Pastyanti, Madhyama, Vaikhari, all these different ways, and these are the Sabdas. And these meanings we always know, the knowledge has given the Sabda as the Vrishabha. It is described having 3 feet, trayo astyapadaha, and also so the knowledge in Vedic knowledge means not the virtue, my worldly knowledge. No, it is the spiritual knowledge, Vedic knowledge. That's the one which I always say. And here they say, so Sabda has 7 hands. Hands are useful to perform acts of giving. In Sanskrit, we have got the vibhaktis, the Pradhama Vibhakti, Dvitiya Vibhakti, all these things are also in. So these details we go about the Vrishabha. And so what is Vrishabha? Vrishabhadri. Vrishabhadri represents Vedic knowledge, the Vedic scriptures. Vedic, Vrishabhadri means Vedic scriptures. What does it mean? The first mountain when you climb, it suggests that only those who accept the authority of Veda alone are welcome. That was it's like a welcome scene, no? The first one is we always see that Swagatam, Suswagatam. But welcome is that Vrishabhadri welcomes you. How it welcomes you? Those who accept the authority of Veda alone are welcome. Our ascending this particular mountain implies that we declare that we do have implicit faith in that Vedic scripture. Without, okay, I accept Veda, we say, but do you have faith? That is the next immediate question. Yes. That is the one, Vrishabhadri, once you climb that mountain, if you don't have faith also, it comes actually, it gives. That is the power of that mountain. Yeah. So that faith, and accept it as the unquestionable authority that we are eager to pay our homage to Lord Venkateshwara, propounding by the Vedas, that is the one. Brahmani Srinivase, we always say daily prayer in by Bhagavad Ramanujacharya in Sribhashyam, that pray Akhila Bhuvana Janmaste Ma Bhangadilile. Then we say, Brahmani Srinivase Bhavatu Mama Parasmin Semushi Bhakti Rupa. That's the one. Because Veda means knowledge. And this Vedic scriptures knowledge, we pay homage. We always pay homage to the Lord of the propounding the Lord, and who has chosen his abode on the 7 hills, of which Vrishabhadri is the first and foremost place. That means immediately when you step into that, and to step on that mountain, you have to accept the Vedic scripture, and also you should have firm faith. That is very important. Now coming to the second hill. What is the second one? Vrishadri. Vrishabha Adi Nilaya Govinda. Govinda. Now come to the Vrishadri Nilaya Govinda. Nilaya means the one who stays on the mountain. Vrishadri. Vrisha, another word is Vrishabha. They both mean, in one sense, both mean bull only. But here, the difference between that is there in Sanskrit word, there is no repetition of the meaning in one word. It has several meanings. One word has several meanings. In this particular one, is there a difference between these two? Yes. They appear to be the same, but they look alike, but they carry different meanings. In Sanskrit, the word Vrisha conveys the meaning dharma. Dharma. What is dharma? Means righteousness. Here, in the rosary of beads of 1,000 names, that is the Mala Mahamantram. What is Mala Mahamantram? Anybody can easily answer. Our Goshti, our Sriperumbuduru Goshti devotees, all of them know what is Mala Mahamantram. It's the one which we recite every evening. That is Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram, which has 1,000. Sahasra means 1,000. These 1,000 names is Mala Mahamantram. Then the bead strewn together, the glorification of Lord Vishnu in the Vishnu Sahasranama Vali, we always find Vrisha. Vrisha finds frequent occurrences, and we always have the commentators explained it in many meanings as dharma. That is, Vrisha and Vrishabha both convey the idea Vrishabhati iti, Varshati iti. Varshati iti. Basically, this is Vrisha. Vrisha is the word Vrisha. Vrishti. Vrishti is another word, showers. Rain. So these are all. What are these showers? Favors. Favor. All the, when you climb, if you have a list of things to fulfill, yes, it is the Vrishadri is ready to fulfill all your desires. What are the desires in your mind? It all, because it is the one, the Vrisha. Vrisha is one, Vrishti, Varsham. So it confers all the showers. What are these showers? The favors. So whatever desires are cherished by devotees are granted immediately. That is the power of the climbing the 7 hills. That's why all our elders, or our ancestors, I can say, even my next to our generation, my children, when Srinivasa and Simal, when they go by climbing all the 7 hills by foot. So these are the things, when you climb, the power of these penances, what all the sages did on those 7 hills, you get the power immediately without any immediately the instant results you get when you climb these words. Okay, now come to the Vrishabha and Vrisha. Now come to the, so another meaning is Vrisha is another meaning is Agni, the sacrificial fire. According to the doctrine of our elders, sages and the saints, sacrificial fires are the bestowers of all favors. So yajna yagadalu, Jyotishthomaadi yajna yagadalu, Swarga phaladikamulu. So always that gives, that bestowers of all favors. It is for material, a gift, and also for spiritual benefits also. Yajnatma sarva kama pradam. With yajnas, yeah. Now coming, this second hill, Vrishabha, the second hill, signifies dharma. What you understand? The first one is about the Vedic knowledge, jnanam. And the second one is the one with dharma, righteousness. It is dharma as enunciated in the Vedas. What is dharma? That is what Ramo Vigrahavan Dharma. Rama is the Rakshita Swastya Dharmastya Swadanastya Rakshita Rakshita Jiva Lokasya. This is all the Rama is the embodiment of Dharma is Rama. This is the connection where we discuss. First let us know all the 7 names. Then we connect it to Ramayana, and that connection is all the time automatically it comes in your mind. Because most of you know, Ramayana is not only, it is not a story. It is all the Kalyana Gunas in one place. A combination of Kalyana Gunas in one place. In Devatas, you always find one quality maybe. But in Rama, the greatness is, Narada himself says, these are the combination of these, all the 16 Gunas. Not only 16, no. So, like avatars, only Dasha avatars? No. Ekavamshata avatars? No. Still more, that Bhagavata Purana does. So, the same way, Kalyana, Ananta Kalyana Gana, Ananta. In the same way, now come to the second hill, when you climb, secure, fulfill worldly ambitions and spiritual aspirations, everything you fulfill. When you climb the second one, you are fulfilling all your desires of the local, the worldly thing, and also the spiritual one also, because dharma not only, that's why abhyudaya nisreyasaha sadharmaha, the definition. Abhyudaya means the progress in these worldly things. In your day-to-day life, you always, when you follow dharma, you show progress in your day-to-day life. You always get promotions immediately after promotions, and whatever you want, business, yes. Whatever is in your mind, it gets done. It immediately. But what about the spiritual? Yes. Because nisreyasaha sadharmaha. It never leave only with worldly things. It always takes you, like Sanskrit language. Whoever learns Sanskrit language, it is not like any language, not like any other language. It directly takes you to the spiritual level. your elevation of your mind to the spiritual higher level, it takes. Same thing the dharma. When you follow dharma, and immediately it fulfills all your life, go very smooth, and all your achievements, you really feel so proud and great. And at the same time, your next life, that is what you say, next step, next stage, that also nisreyasaha, that's sadharmaha. Now coming to this we already got that Veda Pratishtapanam and Abhyudayam, Nisreyasam, that what we already, that dharma definition we got. Once we accept dharma and regulate our conduct and act according to its dictates, it takes the responsibility of securing safety and security, because dharma gives us safety and security. Everyone wants a safe and secure life, isn't it? So when we behave in a dharmika samstha, then take is under the protection and the protection wind. So there are so many examples which I avoid, and now come to the third one. The third one is, the third hill is called Garuda Tidilaya Govinda Govinda. This one. The Garuda is a, we always call, most of you know, is a, what the national bird of America is eagle. We know that. This. So the Garuda is the eagle king, we can say. Is the mount of Sriman Narayana, the Supreme Lord, that could not Lord secure for his vehicle, like a motor car. We always say, so many people, my son used to say, when he identified the car, then immediately he could identify the person who came, who arrived here to this function. So by identifying this, carry the vahanam, then we can identify the form of the murti. So the Garuda is the one, like vehicle of Sriman Narayana. Now coming to the eagle mount must have grown. Here, now we always got that one. Bull is for Parama Shiva, we all know that. And the eagle for Sriman Narayana. And Hamsa for Brahmadeva. Hamsa means swan. Here we always say, these vehicles never get aged or never get damaged, and divinities never face inconvenience at all. Some people may have, like bird eagle, we always say sometimes in VK. But the spiritual one, when we are thinking about this, they never get aged or anything, inconvenience, for mounts ever agile or even ready to be pressed into service, ready to come for the service. Here, as we enter the temples, we find the Garuda Dhwajam, usually even in US, many of the Vaishnava temples, SriVaishnava temples, we always see the Garuda Dhwajam, like Aurora. We have a Garuda Alval, first Garuda Dhwajam in the entrance. Even in Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh temple, people always call that as the Tirupati in America. So, that has all the Sri Vaishnava temples have the Garuda Dhwajam. That is what we call flag staff, we can say, Garuda Dhwajam. This Garuda Dhwajam is loft and it's installed Garutmans in all the temples. Here, who is Garuda? We have Garuda is Vedatma Vihageswaru. That is the one, Vedatma. Garuda is Veda. Garuda is Veda itself. Shrutis declares that he is Veda personified. Chandorupam, he is Vedam. Gayantram, here, Gayatram Chakshuhu, Suparnosi Garudaha. He has Gayatri for his eye. That is why he is able to see clearly objects located in remote or distance also. So here, the Veda, the first mantram of Rigvedam is Gayatri mantram. The Gayatri mantra is Gayatri is the word, actually the meter, the chandas. But later it became the name of the mantra itself, because in the same meter was the very famous it became. The capacity of the, for the capacity of eagle, let us know. Clear vision of things far beyond the kind of common man. That rare capacity of farsightedness we call, is a special characteristic of the eagle species, isn't it? So eagle has two wings, and Garuda is able to carry Lord Srimanarayana on his back and fly to any place at any time. He desires with the speed of his wings. So that's why we all know that the Garuda Dandakam we always we used to read that Garuda, the maximum strength he got in his wings. Even the Indra, when the thing happened, the Amritam, the pot of Amrit, the nectar, when Garuda wanted to get for his mother, when he was carrying that Amritam from heaven to earth, then Indra noticed, oh, Devatas don't have this one. Then immediately, Indra's immediate weapon is, that is the thunderbolt, we call Vajrayudham. The thunderbolt he threw on Garuda's wing, but nothing happened to his Garuda's wing. Garuda kept flying. He was shocked. Then immediately Indra ran to Srimanarayana. Srimanarayana, what I can do? All my powers of my Indra Ayudham, Vajrayudham also did not work with Garuda. So Garuda was so powerful that Srimanarayana understood, oh, such powerful person only I need to get him. So that's the reason people say that after knowing the greatness, even in offices also, the person who knows, the person who can work so sincerely, and they always want to come, bring them close to them, isn't it? So Srimanarayana chosen, taken Garuda as his Vahanam. So now come to the Garuda Adri, we have come to the Vrishabhadri. Vrishadri have arrived. Well, now we have arrived at Garuda Adri, and here we have to say, Vrishabhadri merely contents itself with the declaration of faith in the authority of the Vedas. That is the first mountain, first hill. The second hill, that the Vrishadri insists upon dharma, on strict adherence to the code of righteousness in conduct as prescribed in Vedas. That we call as the Karma Kanda. That is it. The next mountain is Garudadri. What it signifies? It signifies Upanishadic teachings, the value of spiritual wisdom, that is Jnana Kanda. Garuda means Jnanam. Thus Garuda is the one who bears the Supreme Lord on his back, and presents him to us, isn't it? That's why Garuda Gamana, we always say, Garuda Gamana Rara, Nanane Karuna Elu Kora. So this Garuda represents the Upanishadic part of the Vedas, that section which projects the nature of the supreme phenomenon. Here we have to understand that Garuda, by ascending the Garudadri, we understand the Bhagavat Tattvam, the supreme phenomenon, because it is a Jnana Kanda. It gives the knowledge, spiritual knowledge to all the devotees who ever climb those mountains. They feel that this is the knowledge that they get, the spiritual, in the stage of understanding the Upanishads and all the essence of the Vedic knowledge. They understand that this is the one. That is the Antakarana Nairmalyam. That is the Garudadri gives us the Antakarana Nairmalyam and purity of the inner nature by strict conduct of conformity with the code of Dharma. And then Garudadri gives us, when so your mind is clear, without any, what we call that, Krishna tells in the 9th chapter also in Bhagavad Gita, Abhyasuyave, yesterday also Ekonasuyakaha. That was the Rama's qualities, and when those who have no Asuya. Asuya means, what is Asuya? Even good qualities also, you always look at them as bad qualities in them because of the jealousy, because of your looking in the way. So when your mind is cleaned, Antakaranam Nirmalyam. Nairmalyam means Nirmalatvam. when it becomes pure, your mind, then immediately the jnanam comes in your mind. What is the jnanam? The God phenomenon. That is the spiritual entity. You get that one. That is Garudadri. When because of your code of conduct is very important. Now arriving to the fourth one. That is Anjanadri. Anjanadri Nilaya Govinda. Govinda. This is a beautiful word. Not that because Anjanaya's mother is Anjana, but Anjana itself is the word which has a beautiful. Because I used to put the katuka to our eyes all the time. Then my husband used to make a laugh. Oh, because of your Anjanam, you could see the inner things also. It is not that that's Anjana is the word. It's like a special effect when you put in that Anjanam. So, these are the inner things means that is very interesting thing. Anjana, Kullorium we call Katuka. We all know that Anjana is the name of the mother of Hanuman, Anjaneya. Anjana carries another meaning also. It is a magic, I can say, content that for discovering any object that lies hidden from view. Those who put that, that's why, those who put that color, Anjanam, they could see that outer appearance, no. They could not only the surface meaning, they could immediately get the suggested meaning too. That is normal meaning. But another thing is, if you look at that one, those who put the, what is in the heart of the people also, one can read. What is in the thought of the person also, one can read. Some people say, oh, you have sixth sense. So, these are the things. Anjana means the one hidden meanings, hidden things, or the one which is hidden from view, it can be, they can easily discover. That is the speciality of the Anjana. And this hill, by prefixing our Sanskrit scholars have done a great thing for this, because we is a word, if you put the grammatical particles of the speech, we and Anjana, what is it become? We plus Anjana, Vyanjanam. That Vyanjana is a word. What is the word? Vowels and consonants. Hachulu, Hallulu, Vyanjanamulu. We always say Vyanjana is a word. So the Sanskrit scholars make the word Vyanjana to indicate that the statement made carries, beyond its apparent sense, a subtle inner meaning. That is the Vyanjana. Reader can draw out this concealed idea by a closer study of the words employed in the statement. So Anjana became Vyanjana. That is, Anjana means itself is the one which is, it brings out all the hidden meanings in hidden things. And even we used to, some people in the olden days, in my childhood also, they used to say, oh, he has put the Anjanam, and with that he could find out where the treasure places are there, Nidhi. They could easily find out the Nidhi also. Nowadays they dig and dig, and sometimes they won't find anything. But even for water, where they have to dig, some places there is no water, even they want to do the borewell, they keep digging. But those who have this tactics, we can say the tactics, those who have this credit, they could see what is the hidden things in the normal view. So these are the one. Anjana is useful in many ways in our day-to-day life. That is like it is an ointment applied to the eyes to make the viewer discover things that are present before him but remain very much invisible. Like we used to call some people, I have seen one movie also, I remember. The person is always invisible, but he all the time, his voice is heard, but he is not seen. Because he was putting that Anjanam, and he is not, but he used to, anything, he used to, the enemy comes, immediately he used to send him out. and he was like he was a security guard. He used to protect the house. Now I sometimes feel my Parthasarathi Garu all the time with us. Uh, though when we look at him, he is like the invisible, but at the same time he is visible when your mind focuses like with the Anjanam. With the Anjanam. So similarly, the Anjanam means which enables us to discover the inner meanings of words employed in convey dual message, the apparent meaning, and the other is a deeper import also. That is like why I always say simple, the surface meaning and the suggested meaning. That is Ramayana has Bahyardhamu, Antarardhamu, we say. So both the meanings are very important for all of us in the Ramayana. That's why these words also apply in our Ramayana 7 Kandas also. Now coming to the, one must receive initiation from the preceptor, secure from him, and the mantra practice and chant the conjunction of the Gayatri Mantram. That exercise, such an exercise reveals the devotee that his own real nature in the imperishable self. That is the Anjana's speciality. The Anjanadri makes you to reveal your real true nature. And then he has to realize that his soul, though an offshoot of knowledge and bliss, Jnana Anandamaya Swarupam, and is petty and weak in understanding, Alpajnanam, and lacking of strength. So because of that, hence it is that it is unable to present its true nature as it kept, suppressed by the powerful senses, that is Indriyas. So as a matter of fact, it can be seen. The eye is incapable of seeing, and it can hear what the ear is incompetent of hearing, but at the same time, the Anjanam helps us to see and to know this Jnanam, the Jnana and Bhakti it provides. So the Anjanadri, climbing the Anjanadri, the mysterious ointment, like we call that one, that which makes concealed things visible. So by climbing or ascending the Anjanadri, devotees are enabled to realize their true selves, Atma Swarupam. That is the one with it. Now come to the 5th hill. That is the one. Sesha Govinda, Govinda. This is the Sesha. What is this Sesha? Sesha everyone know. My brother's name is also first Sesha, then Venkatachari. So Sesha is the word serpent. Normal meaning is the snake. Why this name has come? Again this mountain, this hill, it bears the look of a snake shape. So maybe, no, it has another very significant name it is given. Because this term is used in Mimamsa Shastra, there is Brahma Sutra we call. Shariraka Mimamsa means Brahma Sutra. And also in the Mimamsa, this refers as the act closely related to the principal right as its auxiliary. That means it has no particular purpose of importance. It yields no result by itself. It only helps the principal right to become fruitful. That is Sesha. Let us ponder over what we do and what we offer worship to Lord. We always, what we do, how you do Archana, Puja Vidhanam. When you worship, you always pluck flowers, and then from flowers from the plants, and place them in the plate, and then offer to the Lord. But before we begin this, right, we sprinkle water on the flowers, isn't it or not? That's why they always say, first we have to samskaram, parishuddhi. We sprinkle water to make them worthy of offer in worship, to make them worthy of offer in worship. So, the preparatory purificatory act, what we call that? The preparatory purificatory act is preliminary to the principle of right of the worship. This observance is a subsidiary act which yields no particular benefit of its own. The sprinkling water has no particular benefit, but such an act which plays a subordinate role by closely attaching itself in the principal right. That is called sesham. It's actually sesham is one, it's associate one. Now the sesham, the same relationship exists between our physical bodies and our souls. The Seshadri reminds us our physical bodies and our souls have the relationship that exists. The senses carry on all functions in which they are employed and bring in the expected fruits, but they are not acting on their own according to their fond wishes, and they are not ready enjoying the fruits of their labors. They are acting under the prompting and commands of the soul and placing the fruitful results of their work. Here, that's why they are called sesham. That means dependent. Sesham means in the way dependent, and the soul is seshi. And the soul is seshi, the master. Extending this argument, Seshadri, in the real meaning, that means the Supreme Lord is Seshi and we are all Sesham. The oversoul, that Paramatma we call, is the master. That we call him as Seshi. And the individual selves, Jivatmas, are the Sesham. In fact, entire universe, Jivatmas, or his subordinate or his dependents. The dependent, Sesham is the word dependents. We can say that meaning. Lord Narayana is reclining on the Adi Sesha. That is a snake. What does it signify? Most of you know that. But it is really, most of you know that. It is poisonous. No. How can it be? Even the poisonous snake in the service of Sriman Narayana never remain poisonous. That you have to keep in mind. So if somebody asked me, oh, Sriman Narayana is sitting on the poisonous snake. Snake always gives poison, isn't it? How can it be? Is it not frightful sight? No. Even then, with the wicked mind, your mind may be so wicked than that poisonous snake. But still, when your mind is in the service of God, it always, all the poison become into the nectar. All the poison become in the, immediately turn into good things. And it never do any harm to anything. So here now come to the Lord Narayana is residing on the snake, we say now. So here what does it signify? It means that the principal actor is the Lord himself. It is through the operation of his will that all activities are carried on. It is he who takes the initiative, enters the various selves and prompts them to act and regulate their labors by his commands. Therefore, the fruits of their endeavors belong to the Lord. But unfortunately, we always see, we are all Jivatmas, the individual self, fail to cognize our subordinate, dependent status. We never accept it. We have to accept it actually, but we never accept it. So, appropriate the fruits to ourselves as our own. It is only when we gain knowledge of our real nature, that is Garudadri, when we attain self-realization and become aware of that our entire dependence on him, that is Anjanadri, then we attain the status of Seshadri, that is Sesham. So these are all in a, what we call, a sequence is really for all the 7 hills, a sequence, a gradation, elevation of a devotee, how one has to come to the Paramapadam. That is the ultimate one is Narayanadri. So along we have been thinking that we have independent, we always think, and we have women. Who is there to somebody to dictate? No, we don't want to accept it. See, these are all the things. But once we have managed to ascend Seshadri, we undergo a total transformation in our outlook. That is the special power of that hill. As we attain self-realization, in Los Angeles, when we are there, when we were in the Los Angeles, there is a Golden Shrine Temple. There they used to have the self-realization courses and self-realization this thing. So, at that time, I never knew that the Seshadri is itself is the one, those who climb enough. One who has got no need to practice those things. The one, it automatically comes to you. So, the Seshadri, by ascending, by climbing the Seshadri, that you always get the self-realization. We attain self-realization. So, now feel that we are not at all independent individuals, that we are His children, that we are mere instruments in His hands. That what we call, we are mere instruments. What the karanam, karta, when we say like that, we are just the instruments in His hands, and that He is the one commanding our services, and that the fruits of everything belongs to Him. So the acquisition of the illuminating wisdom expels our egotic behavior. Thus we realize our entire dependence on Sriman Narayana. That is the Lord Tirumala Srinivasa. He is as our master and as our protector. With this awareness of our status as dependents of the Sriman Narayana, we develop reverential faith in Him and cultivate loving devotion to Him. That's what we say. Brahmani Srinivasa. Then, that is the one. Srinivasa, give me. What is the one? The knowledge we should immediately turn into devotion. Otherwise it is of no use. Listen. So here now we have come to at this. We have come to now His darshan drives us forward and we reach the 6th hill. When you have faith in your mind, the God appears before you. That is the Venkatadri. Now you have come to the 6th hill, that is Venkatadri. There He is, His pleasant abode in the valley below. The moment we set out our eyes upon the Lord's fascinating figure and majestic features, we feel very happy in ourselves for self-longful ecstasy. The blissful experience may last for a brief spell of time, but the effect is miraculous. This is actually the immediate, like Sakshatkaram we say. Immediate we can have that experience, blissful experience. Maybe it's for a short time, but still the effect is very miraculous. The hill on which we have now stationed ourselves is Venkatadri. What is this Venkatadri? Venkatadri. Adri is hill, okay? Then which cleans us all our sins and sins. Vain means sins and kata means cut into pieces. That is kata. Vem kata. The syllables, 2 syllables it is. Lord Srinivasa darshan effects immediate demolition of our load of sins accumulated during our earlier births. That is sanchita karma. And prevents sins from clinging to us in the future, agami karma. The Upanishads have explained how this process takes place. That's Chiyante Jasya Karmani Tasmin Drushte Paravare. Tasmin Drushte Paravare. Once the gracious looks of the Supreme Lord Srinivasa are cast on the devotee, the accumulated load of actions to his credit that suffer immediate destruction. All the sins are immediately destroyed. But how does this happen? This is another question. Yadha ishikatulam agneva protam praduyeta evam hasya sarve papmanaha praduyante. It perishes in the same way as a pile of cotton is burnt to ashes when it is started with a spark of fire. That was Tiyanil Tushagam Seppe Lorin Bhavai. Goda Devi explains us in the same way in Tirupavai. So here they say Yatha Pushkara Palasa Apo Naslishyante. They cannot touch him in the same way as water drops do not touch or smear the lotus leaf. That is very important. That we always have this. So in this matter, all the sins are gone now. We are now clean and our mind is very clean and allotted by the experience during the present. That is, the prarabdha karma continues to bind him till his last breath. Sanchita karma gone and agami karma also done. And the prarabdha karma which is like a released arrow. The arrow is already released. So, that is when we have to bind him in this last breath, till his last breath. That is what. So then what happens to him? Till the last breath he has to be on this because there is now in after last breath what happens? This is another one. We are always with the breath only. We reach the seventh hill also. But this is the one in the spiritual aspirant, that the spiritual devotee, one has to feel in his mind, he is totally transforming his body totally into that, even like Hanuma, what he says, Rom me Ram hai. So like that every speck of our in our body, it turns pure, and even our mind pure thoughts and pure words and always pure actions we do. So then he goes to the seventh hill. Now all we have reached to the topmost hill, that is the seventh hill. What is that one? Narayana Dinalaya Govinda Govinda. This hill is just behind Venkatadri. This Narayana hill is the one just behind the Venkatadri hill. Here this one has to, Nara means all the objects in the variety, in their variety. Ayana means seeking affinity and getting into them. This Nara, Ayana. Nara and Ayana, it become Narayana. Narayana is the one who keeps all things, all sentient and insentient and under the Chetana, Achetana, within himself, and who at the same time inherits all things and sustains them. Akhila bhuvana janmasthema bhangadilile. That is the Bhagavad Rama and Acharya in the SriVaishnava, the Brahma Sutra Bhashyam, first sloka, the Prarambha slokam, the prayer. So here it is Lord Krishna declares in the Bhagavad Gita, Masthani sarva bhutani mai sarvam pratishthitam. All created objects are within me. I am immanent in all of them. He who observes me in all things and all things in me is the one who has seen me, who has a clear vision of me. So this, to understand the full meaning of the word Narayana, one has to vision the whole universe as instinct with the Lord's presence. This Narayana, this Narayanadri, once you climb, he will immediately attain the comprehensive knowledge of his own real nature as self and of the nature of the Supreme Being. Not only his own nature, and the nature of the Supreme Being as an all-pervasive, all-sustaining, all-knowing. This is the one illumining presence. So to qualify for entry into Narayanadri, to qualify, one has to be qualified. That is a very interesting word. Because we always say, I have climbed, I have gone, I have done that. No. It is the other way one has to say, I was given. I was given the darshan of, I was given. Because he blessed me, I could see. These are the words always we say. So here is the qualified quality that was saying to enter in Narayanadri. The devotee has to cross the 6 hills. So far, Vrishabhadri, Vrushadri, Garudadri, Anjanadri, Seshadri, and Venkatadri. Now the pilgrimage, by now picking up the faith in the Veda and its authority, adopting the code of conduct and enunciated, and what are the code of conduct given there, and assimilating the essence of the spiritual values embedded in the Upanishads, discovering the true nature of the self that is concealed under the shroud of senses, achieving self-realization by giving up egoism and cognizing the individual self's dependence and the Sriman Narayana, that is Tirumala Srinivasa, that is Narayana. Cultivating love and reverence towards the Supreme Being as the sole refuge and protector. That is Sriman Narayana Charanaho Saranam Prapadye Srimate Narayana Namaha. There is a way gaining liberation from the pile of actions and its consequential effects by reaching the Lord's presence and visioning the Tirumala Srinivasa's magnificent form and enticing the features on Narayanadri. The devotee experiences in a flash his close affinity with the Lord. That is the power of the Narayanadri. When he observes how the entire universe is encircled within him, see the beauty of this Narayanadri power. Immediately the devotee observes how the entire universe is encircled within him and how he appears immanent in every created object. The self-installed icon on Tirumala that becomes forth as the personification, that is a Tirumala Srinivasa, is the visual manifestation of the Supreme Lord, that is the Srinivaso Vijayate. Om Vrishabhadinilaya Govinda Govinda Vrushadinilaya Govinda Govinda Garudadinilaya Govinda Govinda Anjanadinilaya Govinda Govinda Seshadinilaya Govinda Govinda Venkatadinilaya Govinda Govinda Saptagiri Nivasa Narayana Dinilaya Govinda Govinda Narayana Dinilaya Govinda Govinda Saptagiri Nivasa Govinda Govinda. In this way, so far we have done about the Saptagiri Nivasa Srinivasa. The 7 hills leading to the Lord's presence convey the message to the devotee detailing the stages of progressive assimilation of esoteric spiritual values and their culmination in Narayanadri, in experiencing the Lord's exhilarating presence and sanctifying touch, that this is the one Lord's presence, and offered salutations with humility, with reverence, and with devotion. Now we have to come to the Ramayana. Now we have to come to the epic Ramayana. As our SriVaishnava Swami experienced this with all the grace of Lord Tirumala Srinivasa. So all the spiritual aspirants in quest of the Lord, the sage Valmiki has dealt with the same subject in the 7 cantos of his epic. That is, Edu Kandalu, Edu Kondalu. The Edu Kondalu, the same Edu Kandalu. That is Ramayana. The 7 cantos, or you can say the Balakanda, Ayodhya Kanda, Aranya Kanda, Kishkindha Kanda, Sundara Kanda, Yuddha Kanda, Uttara Kanda. These are the 7 kandas of Ramayana. So this Ramayana is connected with the... So some people may have the how kandas and kondas are you become, because words are so very close to that. That's why you know. It has the spiritual values in all this Ramayana. It is closely connected with the way how I described. You can just connect yourself to all these 7 kandas of Ramayana in the same spirit. Here this one, now come to the, which begins the epic, that is, Ma nishada pratishthantvam agamaha sastvati sama yat krauncha mithunadekam avadhihi kamamohitam. This is the first and foremost reason for the Ramayana's how Ramayana, how Valmiki really is experience. Valmiki had this first sloka, it came out of his mouth. Sometimes, some situations make you to, we always say spellbound, sometimes we say. It's like that, it's spell out. It is this is just came automatically from his mouth. At that time he was not having nothing. But when he saw one situation, that situation made him immediately to speak out that way. This was the first sloka came out in this way. Here, the Ramayana, sage Valmiki, accompanied by his disciple Bharadwaja, sets out for the river Tamasa for his midday bath. He thinks of having a stroll in the woods, and as he moves into there, he notices that there are tribal herdsmen aiming at his arrow at a bird, Krauncha, that is Krauncha, which engaged in love with the other female bird. The Krauncha stuck with the bolt and falls down, and its partner roams around and cries. They are in a very panic situation. The sage is really immediately got shocked with the scene, the tragic occurrence in front of his eyes. His heart immediately got shocked, and the terrible sight gives into the grief and spontaneous outburst. That is the one pronouncing a curse on the savage hunter for his cruel deed. But when anger fills the heart and remains contained within it, and it assumes the form of the rasa. So, but when it turns into rage, it finds expression in the form of utterance as curse. It is Valmiki's grief that finds utterance in a verse. It is not a curse. It comes as a blessing. It is a slokam, not a sokam. The sokam, slokatvamagata. We always say sokam, slokatvamagata. The sloka, and that sloka gains prominence for its priority and excellence over other similar verses in this. Now this sloka, let us now observe, let us see the time. We have time up to 7:30. It is already 7:20. Only that we discuss that connection with that Edu Kandalu. This particular sloka is the real connection, and many more things we discuss later on, maybe next Saturday, like that. And scholars appreciate the excellence of this verse. This is here it says many more commentaries on this particular verse, but let us now examine the meaning of the sloka first. O Ma Nishada. Nishada is a word of tribal hunter. Tvam means you shall not secure pratistam, stay in the world, that you will not live long. That was the actual word. But you have committed because you have committed a grave crime by killing the bird which is engaged in with the other bird. So here, kama mohitam. Ekam, the word that is actually bird, avadhi. That is, you have killed only one bird, that is with the. You have cruelly separated the bird couple, enjoying the one, and killed one of them. You shall not live long. That was the normal meaning. But if you come into the surface meaning of Sanskrit. But Sanskrit has the suggested meaning always. Every Sanskrit sloka in general, and that also with the Adikavi, Adi Valmiki and Ramayana has the Antarardham we have. The such a curse emanate from a great sage like Valmiki. Is that it will be a curse? No. He is an ascetic. He accomplished a practitioner of service penance with immense spiritual wisdom and experience. Has he not brought his senses under control? Can you imagine that? Does he not know what is external and what is, temporary and transitory? Can he not distinguish between the body, which is unreal, because he is a tapasvi? So, what is this bird? How to understand the event? Like Goda Devi's Tiruppavai, many more people used to ask me, what is this? She says, the Kodi and Kunga, all these are the birds, and also the same Sirividu, the cattle, all the things are coming the same. Only the village atmosphere and all these things, what she describes in Tiruppavai, the essence of Vedas, in the very different way, in disguise. It is a boon for all of us. The Tiruppavai is a boon. Those who know that, Sarvas Goda, Jayetu Goda, Sarva Sampat Pradatri, we always daily sing this one. That's a hail to Goda, that she has given the immense wealth to all of us. That is Tiruppavai. That is the one Vedic knowledge is totally Vedamanai Tukkum Vittam. Same way, Ramayana is that is also Valmiki. Does he give in this way? No. So here they say, Na yam hanti naman naham nahanyate, this and that. So there is none who kills and none who is killed, and this is the one which in Bhagavad Gita also, Atma Tattvam we all know. And especially in the Bharatiya Tattvam is Atma Tattvam, that Valmiki does not know that. He knows. Then what is this the meaning? That the people always have it has another meaning, not the normal, this surface meaning is not correct. All the Medhavis, I can say, the great intellectuals, all the time, Purvacharya thought of it, then immediately they got that it is the one which has a beautiful meaning. Who have sounded the depths of the verse, have arrived to the conclusion that it is a benedictory address to Srinivasa, the Supreme Being Srinivasa. The Supreme Being Srinivasa. Soka, the grief, turned into sloka. Curse turns into the benediction. People refrain from repeating the abusive rebuke as in the repulsive to utter. But in this particular case, the sloka has gained currency and people have really taken enthusiastically to its recital. Valmiki himself has many times again felt delighted, and its frequent recital. This is the sloka is comprised of 32 syllables. The sloka in the Anushtup meter has got 32 syllables, divided into 4 padas, 4 quarters of 8 words each. He got the sloka turned on the veena, a musical instrument, and it sounded sweet and conformed a very much rhythmic beat. The disciples were immensely pleased and indulged in its chant, and the verse is no curse at all. The verse is no curse at all. It is to that. Then it became a benedictory stanza, benedictory sloka. So what it is, then they were all. Here they say it actually glorifies the Lord Srinivasa. For it is He who eliminates the mind which created obstacles for the soul to reach Him. The bird that is killed in the mind, what dwells in pleasures of the senses and obstructs the soul's passage to the Lord. By demolishing the mind, this huntsman, but we can say, the Lord has conferred a great blessing on the spiritual devotee, aspirant, and hence the sage pronounces the benedictory praise, fare thee well. Amen. My Lord, now I am forever. So, here krauncham, the krauncha is a word. The kraunchis is a word actually, we have contracted affinity with a male, these are that krauncha midhunadekam. The bird is the mind. The bird is the mind, and the mind that controls and regulates our senses and their activities. The mind is fond of desires without end and craves for their fulfillment. So it wants to monopolize for itself and available pleasures in their plenty. Thus it works as an instrument in fastening us with incessant bonds to mortal life. Here, in the particular sloka, it faces all the meaning, because vyakyanas are many more interpretations are there, that we have to understand the manaha eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayoh. By putting an end to the desire embroiled mind, this huntsman of the Lord has done us the invaluable favor. That is, Valmiki assumes the role of a female heroine and renders homage to the Lord. So these are the here this birds breathing, but it is the Atma, that is the female heroine, the soul, that is Jivatma we call, endures agony as long as it is kept imprisoned by the mind, that is Manas, which is swayed by unending desires. Now that the desire-infested mind is gone, we can say, the soul emerges from confinement and freely roams about, expressing its sudden relief in ecstatic accents. So here, no longer does it groan, no grief, nothing. So thus the soul now regains its original blissful form, freed from the constriction and the restrictions, you can say, imposed by the errant mind. Earlier it was all the time imposing, it will now. Owing to the gracious intercession of the Lord and praises Him, it feels blessed and for reaching the stage when the soul concerned and the devotee is to reach the Srinivasa's presence and worship him. Here there are many more meanings like Ma Nishada. Ma is the word for Mahalakshmi. The Ma means Lakshmi Devi. Nishada, one who nivasa, the one who resides, the place of residence or abode of Mahalakshmi. That is the Manishada, which means the one Mahalakshmi's abode in the Lord himself. That is Sri Nivasa. Sri is Mahalakshmi, Nivasa. Sage Valmiki has addressed Lord Srinivasa in the benedictory verse of glorification. The relation of the epic Ramayana is all about Srinivasa in his incarnation as Sri Rama. It is owing to this relevant homage paid by Valmiki, wishing his welfare for long, that the Lord has graciously chosen to stay steady on this mountain range of Tirumala, Srinivasa, the Saptagiri Nivasa, Govinda, Govinda. Now we have to look into the Srinivasa. It will take so much time. Let us see. Oh, it is. Just our given time is done. So, how we have to address this? The Srinivasa is the one which we have got, and the epic Ramayana, and how it is related, we got this particular sloka is the one with it, and we all, most of we know, Sri is the word. Our Goshti is also, the name is Sri. The Sri Nivasa, when you say, the Mahalakshmi, that's why once somebody approached our Acharya, Sri Chidananda Simanara Ramanathanajay, we are very short of money, we are having a lot of difficulties, so what you suggest? Oh, go and pray. Sri Nivasa, he is there. He is the one with the word of Mahalakshmi is with him, and he will give the money. So that Sri Nivasa, and next week we always try to get, otherwise maybe tomorrow if Perumal permits, then we do that one for tomorrow also, or next week we shall try to do this one. On the Sri, one second, before we complete, today being the Ekadasi, and Sri Pravachanam Goshti, and every time when you open the app in Facebook Live, and also Facebook page, that is Srinivasa Ramanuja International Pravachanam Goshti, the Sri is that is the emblem which we have on the corner of the thing which you can see. Sri connotes what is the meaning, that is mother goddess, that is the goddess of wealth. When the term emerges from the root, that is in Sanskrit has the dhatu, that is we call dhatu, sru. It means one who makes things ripe, paripakvam, and brings about the end. And Divine Mother's name is Sri. The form that these are the words Srayati, Sriyate, Srunoti, Sravayati, Srinati, and Srunati. These are all the 7 things which they went that the name Sri is included here. That means her activity seeking and setting in Lord's shelter, that's one Ashrayincharam, and of her being sought after, she is fervently after by the devotees, Ashrayam Pabadudam, and intercedes with the Lord in their favor. That is Madhyavartitvam we call. And her name Sri carries another meaning arising out of the grammatical root Sru. That means she listens all our list of things. She listens attentively, very attentively to what we pray for, and she takes the trouble of conveying our petitions to the Lord Srinivasa, that is Srinivasa, with her recommendations. With her, she has recommendations, that is, and Lord does not give attention directly to our prayers. He condenses to listen then only when they are rooted through the mother. That's why We always say, this is why SriVaishnava. This way I have got another meaning. Sri is a word for the Vaishnava Sampradayam. Has many more names. That is about the one which is by Sri. So, and tomorrow we also try to learn some more things. The Sri Tattvam is a word. Then we have to understand what is the word Srinivasa, which we have got this particular Ramaho Vigrahavan Dharma, and we have got the mountains, the significance of each hill. We can say 7 hills. Today we could, and how it is related to Ramayana that we started, that we continue tomorrow. That we conclude now. Om Asmadgurabhyo Namaha Mangalam Kosalendraya Mahaniya Gunatmane Chakravarti Tanujaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam. Om Mangalam Bhagavan Vishnu Mangalam Garudadhvaja Mangalam Pundarikaksha Mangalayatano Harihi. Om Mangom Sriyah Kantaya Kalyana Nidhayerdhinam Sri Venkata Nivasaya Srinivasaya Mangalam. Om Sriyam Om Gunda Gunda Mangalam Kosalendraya Mahaniya Gunatmane Chakravarti Tanujaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam. Om Sriyah Kantaya Kalyana Nidhayerdhinam Sri Venkata Nivasaya Srinivasaya Mangalam. Asadyanagarin Divyam Abhishiktaya Sitaya Rajadiraja Rajaya Ramabhadraya Mangalam. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pasyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Jai Sriman Narayana.